but he'll actively try to get out of it by presenting himself as like the moral arbiter or Mr. Logic.
Anything to... Is this worth it? 12 minutes? Like anything to just not respond to the actual point, to the actual argument. Why does he even watch me? Like, you have to understand, if he's reacting to me, it's purely a drama react because he doesn't respond with substance to any point that I say. So it's literally just like character slander, and it's just like drama.
Michael from Pennsylvania, send me that one debate that you and him had. Not the full thing, but just like the short, sweet version of it.
Mike from PA? What?
Where he talks about, what was it, stock buybacks, I think? Was it about stock buybacks? And it's...
Why would you want to watch a debate from 4 or 5 years ago? How old is this?
Very obvious that he doesn't know what he's talking about in this process, but he has a way of trying to weasel out of it. It's a sweet spot where anyone who knows anything can dismiss him immediately, and so the only people who stick around are the people who are dumber than dirt, or people who are not paying a lot of attention, like people who are not paying close attention. Here, this is one of the best examples of, Destiny is the living embodiment of the Dunning-Kruger effect.
He just doesn't know anything.
You came in committed to a viewpoint that AOC was economically illiterate.
AOC is economically illiterate because she said the money spent on stock buyback should be spent on labor.
My dad ran a small business, and whenever we had a good year in a small business, we tried to pay our secretaries more, or we tried to invest more in things for the business.
Which is a dumb statement to make that shows you have no idea how anything in economics works. What would drive you to... That's a mean
Who would drive you to make
these statements?
First of all, it's not dumb as...
It is dumb as to expect a company to return profits to its workers.
As a CEO of a major company, I can take that money. I don't have to do that at all, right? I can actually have the company buy its own stock on the market, right? Yeah. That would effectively increase the stock price, right? And I've done nothing to make my product more valuable, my employees more happy. I haven't invested in the training or the workforce, but I've inflated the stock price, right? Absolutely. So my question is, how is this different from a pyramid scheme? That's a very...
No, I love AOC now, so I don't want to be mean to AOC right now.
But I've inflated the stock price, right? Absolutely. So my question is, how is this different from a pyramid scheme? That's a very good question.
That's why I said AOC is an idiot. Not to mention, wait.
Which was illegal, by the way. Stock
I'm so mean.
buybacks was considered understandably stock manipulation until Ronald Reagan, just so you understand.
This is, I would have to go back and look at why they were ever made to be illegal in whatever place. But again, there's not much of a difference between this and a dividend. I don't know if there were other schemes that people were using. Maybe you can use part of a buyback in an illegitimate manner or whatever. But again, it's more or less the same as just returning money in the form of a dividend, except they're doing it in the form of a buyback.
But of course, Destiny probably doesn't know that either, or maybe didn't know that at the time, but he certainly doesn't know what the stock buyback is or how it works or why it was considered to be illegal in stock manipulation. And you will see in this conversation.
Oh, do you know why it was considered to be illegal or stock manipulation? Are you going to tell us?
Wait, I don't even know what this has to do with stock buybacks at this point. They are incentivized for short-term stock gains over long-term investment. It's better to...
Oh, God, this hurts.
Dividends are paid because it's usually a taxable event. Not always, but usually. You could structure your sales during that spike in the price.
You could also get ultra by the SEC because this is called insider trading, Mike.
Oh, you could structure it. You just... I'm going to sell.
If you're trying to do buybacks based on information that's like not publicly available, that would be considered insider trading. But there's a whole other list of rules and regulations, everything around what's considered insider trading or not. And we're in the Trump administration, so maybe there's maybe there's not. Maybe we don't do insider trading anymore. There are so many levels of argument right now because everything about it, what he's saying is just so stupid also. Like the idea that you could either do stock buybacks or reinvest in your company. There's not always good investments to make in your company. Insofar as there is a better investment to make than just doing a stock buyback, then you would do the investment in the company. But that's what you would expect any business to do. That's what the shareholders would want the business to do. The idea that you're doing buybacks instead of doing profitable investments is retarded. Shareholders wouldn't want you to do that. Big wig CEOs wouldn't want you to do that. Huge stock owners wouldn't want you. Like nobody would want you to do that. They say, oh no, reinvest in the company. That'd be better.
Yes, you can.
Oh my God, it's just the most...
Oh my God. Do you know how it works?
I guess I don't, Mike. When these people sell their capital, eventually they will pay taxes on it. But again, if you want to talk
about...
Why
would they sell? Why would they sell? You borrow against the value of your shares.
Yeah, it is both stock buybacks and buy, borrow, die. He doesn't know. These are super basic, super basic concepts, right? I've talked about them extensively.
Super basic concepts. I didn't know about the whole borrowing against your investments to never realize gains or whatever. I didn't know about that whole scheme at the time. But that has nothing to do with stock buybacks versus paying dividends versus anything else. Like
he doesn't know. These are super basic concepts, right?
They're getting this take from Sam Cedar. He says buybacks are manipulative. He probably does.
Right? I've talked about them extensively a million times over. He doesn't know. But it's okay. Normally, if you don't know something, what you're supposed to do is be like, I don't really know this. Can you explain it to me? What he does is dominate. He wants to dominate the conversation. So while he's talking to someone that knows better than he...
Why would a company do stock buybacks actually just to decrease their net profits and pay less in taxes? It's a way of giving money back to your investors. Let's say that you made a fuck ton of money last year, but you don't really have any good projects to invest it in. Well, instead of just sitting on a bunch of cash, you want people to invest in your company, so you pay it back to your shareholders. So you could either pay a dividend to everybody that owns some of your stock, or you could go to the market and you could buy up some of your stock, and by buying some of the stock and removing the stock from the market, it increases the value of the rest of the stock, right? Because I believe that when a company buys shares, I think that the shares are retired or whatever. So if there's 100 shares on the market and I buy 50 of them, and then I retire those shares, the 50 remaining double in value, basically. You're returning money to the people that still have the shares.
He does, okay, that knows more about this. And by the way, ironically enough, he's also undermining the head of the SEC's the head of the SEC agreeing with AOC in that congressional hearing, okay? But the reason why I think this is important to understand, like, in terms of his style and how he presents himself to an audience, and like why his audience in a cultish way think he's true.
Wait, did I miss the part where Hasan showed Destiny doesn't know what he's talking about in terms of his own knowledge on the issue? No, he's just like linking like headlines. One had to do with buy, borrow, die, which has nothing to do with stock buybacks and nothing to do with dividends. So I don't know why he linked this at all, but
really brilliant is because when he doesn't know something, he just gets angry in a very confident manner. And before you say, oh, you do that too? Dog, I literally...
Is there an issue with mass stock buybacks and that they overcommit to the company, sometimes taking out loans to do the buyback? I remember people saying many companies were over leveraged on debt from it for COVID. Could you? I mean, could you do that? If you thought your company was insanely undervalued, could you borrow money if interest rates were favorable enough to do a stock buyback? Maybe you could. I don't know, actually. That sounds like a very, I feel like it could be risky. I don't know if you're allowed to do that. I don't know if companies do that. I don't see a reason why that would be impossible. That sounds like a very spooky gamble, though. But I guess you could do that. But I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know about that.
Literally will immediately say, oh, I didn't know that. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. There are probably 700,000 examples of this, okay? I'm wrong all the time. Like, the thing I hate about that, as a matter of fact, is when I say something and I'm wrong and I get corrected, and I say, oh, I'm wrong, my bad, people go, oh, you're backtracking. No, that's not called backtracking. It's called being a normal functioning adult with a brain. Yes.
The strongest argument against stock buyback was CEO compensation being tied to stock price. Spooky conflict of interest there. No, not only is that not a conflict of interest, it's the exact opposite. It's the alignment of interest. The reason why CEOs are compensated in stock instead of in raw compensation like dollars or whatever is because you want the CEO to feel invested in the company. You want the success of the CEO personal, their personal financial success to be tied to the increase in the valuation of the company's stock, which aligns the CEO interest with the shareholder interest. That's the whole point of that compensation.
Ironically enough, for a lot of idiots, though, people think taking accountability is actually a sign of weakness, which is why when you never take accountability and you never show weakness to the apes and you just project this air of confidence, you can just kind of dominate the conversation.
I don't know if you watched it, but Atriac a while back made a video responding to you about investing in gold. Yeah, he did, but nothing that he said. I mean, like, pull out a chart. I mean, I look at charts when Atriac was talking. There's just no long-term horizon where investing in gold is smart versus investing in USD. It just doesn't make any sense. Atriac can have the position he has, but it feels just, I don't want to say it's emotional like I'm discrediting him. Atriac is I actually super appreciate Atriac's videos because even when he's wrong, he's like demonstrating a clear thought process from going from A, B, C, D, E, or I say even when he's wrong, even when we disagree. At least I can see how he's thinking about things. And he's explaining it through and he's not being like dogmatic or anything about it. I just disagree with his assertion that there's like any long, like 10-year even horizon where gold is a better investment over literally anything else. I don't know.
Conversation, and obviously you have at the end of the process you've actually misinformed your audience, but it doesn't matter if your only care and consideration here is to come across as the victor of this conversation. Then yeah, confidence and rhetoric will play that role. This isn't to say that Destiny is completely unknowledgeable on everything, okay? There are absolutely issues that he has read a lot about, okay? Why he reads a lot about issues also matters, in my opinion. I think he reads on issues specifically to dominate in debate and not because like he wants to have a fully fleshed out worldview.
Why it's such a weird, God, these ad homs are so fucking retarded, right? Like, Destiny becomes more educated and knowledgeable on things so that he can win debates, which are about being more educated and knowledgeable on the topics so you can have the correct opinion. Like, what even is the claim here? Like, it's so stupid. It's so cringe.
But that's irrelevant in this process. The reason why I'm showing you this, okay? The reason why I'm showing you this is because this is very clearly an example where he doesn't know what the he's talking about, and his interlocutor.
Where can you demonstrate where I don't know what I'm talking about? Can you demonstrate where I'm incorrect? What? Like he says, stock buybacks used to be illegal. Okay, well, they're not anymore. What changed? Because I could just say stock buybacks are legal, right? You know what else used to be illegal? Women voting and black people being human. Like, what's the point we're trying to make here, little bro? Like,
does know what he's talking about. Let's see how he reacts.
You don't have to liquidate. You can borrow against the value.
Okay,
you can pay any taxes on borrowing. So right there, you're just wrong. Like if I own a
So I don't know. I didn't know anything about the borrowing against your investment scheme. But again, this has nothing to do with buybacks or buybacks versus dividends.
billion, you think, wait a minute.
Why would I? Also, I really like how Hasan here is playing a TikTok channel called Destiny vs. Destiny, which is literally dedicated to like taking 5-second clips of me from multiple conversations, sometimes years apart, to try to dunk on me and own me, and then complains about other people taking short clips of him, which is hilarious. But
the value. Okay, you don't pay any taxes on borrowing. So right there, you're just wrong. Like if I own $1 billion, you think, wait a minute. Why would I borrow against the value of my investment? Can you even do this? You don't have to pay any taxes on it. That's why.
This lack of knowledge, for the record, is on something.
I didn't understand the scheme at all, but Mike doesn't understand the scheme either. Or if he does understand it, he's not explaining it very well. The reason why you would borrow against the value of an investment, it's not even really borrowing against the value of the investment.
Can you even do this?
It's more, what you're really borrowing against is you're borrowing against the capital appreciation of that investment that you haven't realized any taxable events on yet. That's what you're really doing. Because it wouldn't make sense. Why would you invest in $1 million something and borrow against that $1 million? I mean, you could, but there's no advantage there. But what you're really borrowing against is the increased value of that investment that you haven't actually sold yet. So there hasn't been a taxable event yet. That's what you're doing. But
Pay taxes on it. That's why.
This lack of knowledge, for the record, is on something so trivial. Borrow against your assets. Like, at this stage, he didn't even know, like, the concept of leverage.
like, I actually don't even know if Hasan knows. I don't know if Hasan could explain this. Borrow against your assets. I mean, yeah, kind of, but you're really borrowing against the untaxed gains of those assets, which you're really borrowing against. But
borrow against your assets. Like, at this stage, he didn't even know, like, the concept of leverage, it seems. I mean, he knows now. I'm sure he knows now. But think about how he's operating.
If you borrow against the value of your shares, you never have to pay taxes. Somebody in chat has to tell me, I'm not going to take his word for it. Someone in chat, do you borrow against the value?
like, borrow against the value of your shares. I did, like I said, I understand this now, but like, borrow against the value, he's not, I actually don't even know if Mike understood what he was saying here. He's probably just repeating what he's heard from Sam Cedar or from AOC. You're not really, it's not just that you're borrowing against the value of your shares, you're borrowing against the capital appreciation of your shares that haven't been taxed yet, is what you're talking about. But
The ultra-wealthy use loan money to fund their lifestyle. Average people need income to pay for basics like housing and food. But the ultra-wealthy don't. They can just live on borrowed cash.
It's like one of the most fundamental parts of our economy.
Okay. And he doesn't believe him. I don't know what to say about it. Like, he literally does not understand. Like, it's not even buy, borrow, diet.
also, he doesn't, why are we watching a debate from 5 years ago? Wait, 6 years ago? This was the first apartment that I had in California. I was living in Glendale. How many, was this 6 years ago? Does anybody have a link to this debate? Jesus Christ.
I don't know what to say about it. Like, he literally does not understand. Like, it's not even buy, borrow, die at this point. He's saying, like, you can get loans by leveraging your assets? That is, like, at that point, I guess he had never gotten.
Oh! Hasan just said... Hasan just said I don't understand leverage. Then he said you can get loans by leveraging your assets. That's not what leverage means, but okay. It's okay.
No single loan or ever entertained the thought. I don't understand.
Your shares, you never have to pay taxes. Somebody in chat has to tell me, I'm not going to take his word for it. Someone in chat, do you borrow against the value of...
The ultra-wealthy use loan...
Normally, people with Dunning-Kruger are confident, but they're not, like, capable of presenting themselves as intelligent. Destiny is competent and confident and capable of presenting himself as a...
Hasan has been shower debating your 6-year-old self since y'all's breakup. What was the point here when Destiny literally said, can you even do that? Does anyone in chat know? When Hasan is trying to prove how he... Oh, yeah, that's true, too. Because I wasn't eligible at this point, and I was asking my chat, I was like, can you do this? Is this possible? Yeah, that's true. It's not even a good example of whatever he's trying to fucking illustrate.
These are tax-advantaged investment accounts.
Shut up! Okay, this debate was 5 years ago. August 19th, 2019. Jesus Christ. 5.5 years ago? Good one.
Relatively intelligent person. That's it. It's a deadly combination. Sometimes he's correct. And in many instances, when he's like debating right-wingers, he's usually on the right side of that argument. So a lot of people think, oh, this guy's awesome. He's a...
Only when he's debate. Oh, the number one red flag you should have if you watch other content creators or watch me is anytime somebody says, oh, Destiny is super based when he's critiquing left-wingers or right-wingers. But when he critiques right-wingers or left-wingers, he's always wrong. That should always be your number one indicator that they're a fucking... that they're a partisan hack.
Titan, he's a giant. But when he actually reaches a subject matter that he's not like well read on at all, there are so many basic facts that he is oblivious to. But notice how he doesn't actually go, I didn't know that. Let me think. Let me reconsider.
I literally say that in the 5-second clips that you're cutting, though.
Somebody in chat asked to comment, I'm not going to take his word for it. Somebody in chat, do you borrow against the value of...
I'm literally asking the question. What the fuck?
He is too. But notice how he doesn't actually go, I didn't know that. Let me think. Let me consider. He just immediately doubles down and goes, oh, you're so stupid. That is a deliberate way to get out of that conundrum. He does it. He's doing it on purpose because he knows he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's a little worried that Mike actually does know what he's talking about. So he's just going to go, oh, you're stupid, so that the audience doesn't trust him, even though Mike is 100% correct.
It's like one of the most fundamental parts of our economy.
Okay.
Oh, he doesn't know anything. I can't believe you don't know that rich people take loans against their... I don't think any rich person does this. What? What? You can't just do that willy-nilly. Yes, you can. No, of course you can. No, you can't. These are tax-advantaged investment accounts. You cannot just take loans against them. That's the whole point of these tax-advantaged accounts.
Did we start talking about 401ks or IRAs? You can't take a loan against your... If I'm talking about tax-advantaged accounts, I don't know what part of the debate this is coming from, but I don't believe you can take a loan out against your 401k without penalty. So for instance, if you take a loan out against your 401k, I don't believe your 401k appreciates in value, but I think we were talking about 401ks here, I think, because I'm saying tax-advantaged account.
Well, vested it. You're arguing against a position I don't have. If you are rich, if you're Jeff Bezos, do you think he liquidates his shares to buy? Yes, he needs liquid cash.
Every now and then.
No, you don't need to do that. I understand that's not it.
Jeff Bezos has done that to buy the most expensive mansion in Los Angeles, for example. But outside of that, he never does that because buy, borrow, die has numerous loopholes created specifically so that Jeff Bezos never actually has to... Jeff Bezos never has to pay taxes ever again if he doesn't want to. And also simultaneously, his entire net worth carries over to whoever he delivers it to when he dies.
Cash, because that's how we purchase things in the United States. You use currency to do it. Now I'm going to take out a secured loan against my investments? Yeah, why wouldn't you? Because I want to pay interest with cash that I already have. Why the f*** would I pay interest when I have my own investment? Why would I take out a loan from the bank and use my own investments?
Look at that. Do you ever say I'm not knowledgeable on a topic?
What was Mike's response to that? There is a good response to that. I don't even know if Mike hit the response, though.
I need to reconsider? Yes. Like today, people are like, hey, what do you think about the Kurdish-Turkish negotiations? Literally today, I said, I don't know enough. I don't know what Erdogan's ambitions are here. It's ironic because people still get mad at me when they're like, why aren't you covering it? You must be hiding the truth. It's like, no, dude, I just don't know enough, okay? I am, at the end of the day, a goddamn human being. I'm not capable of knowing what's going on in Rwanda, for example. I can like kind of figure out what the hell's going on, but when people ask me stuff, like, I have areas of weakness, okay? And I always say, I don't know, I need to do more reading on it. And then people get mad. What would you say are your stronger areas? Shit involving the Middle East and American foreign policy, American imperialism. Nice framing. I mean, this isn't...
What are your strong areas? American imperialism. Okay, bro.
Nice framing. This is just like objectively what's going on, where this person clearly doesn't know what he's talking about and is like very actively trying to get out of it by yelling and making a scene, casting a dispersion spell.
Why the I pay interest when I have my own investment? Why would I take a loan from the bank and use my own investments to secure that loan and then pay interest to the bank? Why don't I just liquidate my own shares? This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Because you don't have to pay taxes when you take a loan, but if you liquidated stuff that you have a capital gain in, you'll have to pay taxes. That's why. He just doesn't know anything. I don't know why the
Oh, that's true.
It's okay.
He was correct on that.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is probably one of the best examples of, at least that I can recall, where he just doesn't know what the he's talking about, but he'll actively try to get out of it by presenting himself as like the moral arbiter or Mr.
What is this? What part of this has to do with being a moral arbiter? What?
Logic. Now, also, when he ever feels wronged in that regard, he will just never let you forget it. He will forever be your enemy.
He says as he brings up a debate from 6 years ago. What the fuck?
Narcissistic. Obviously, even if you have like a normal relationship, even a positive relationship, like he is motivated by.
Oh, this is projection. Hasan is talking about how he abuses his position to abuse and manipulate all the people near him to force them to take down criticism of him, to bully LSF mods, to take down posts of him, to brigade other comment sections, to tell his friends not to joke about him. Like this is what this is a projection from his part. He's explaining his actions here in the last minute.
Also, when he ever feels wronged in that regard, he will just never let you forget it. He will forever be your enemy. Very narcissistic. Obviously, even if you have like a normal relationship, even a positive relationship, like he is motivated by just endless amounts of spite. And he will, if he can't win the argument immediately on facts, he will just consistently serially harass you. He will sick his community on yourself, your family members, your orbiters,
your family members. What the fuck? What? How many times has Hasan said like, oh, cover me so you can pay your child support? Or talked about Ethan like, hey, go take care of your kids or whatever. Like, Jesus.
Your friends, your peers, you know, whatever they want to call it. And they will just create this insanely sophisticated targeted harassment campaign.
Your friends, your peers. So Hasan targeting people like Lonerbox and then watching Bad Empanada videos, who's also a known doxer and kitty fucker probably.
But that is how I think he's been able to also attract a very weird audience and has been able to maintain a semblance of prominence here. Okay.
Semblance of prominence. Thank you. As Hasan obsessively brings up friends and family of literally anybody in the vicinity of the person he's arguing with.
Very separated platform. like very separated platform could get together and look at like what was happening on the website. And now it sucks because Destiny fucked it. Okay, that's what he did. He actively brigaded it, openly brigaded it.
Hasan literally actively and openly brigades on stream. He goes through comments and tells people to upvote, downvote. Does anybody have, can somebody link me a clip of Hasan doing exactly this on LSF? Not even a YouTube comment section, on LSF. Link me the clip, please. How am I the cause of all the injustice in the world that this guy has to suffer? Holy shit. I went to KFC and I wanted to get the double bucket combo and I went to pay cash and guess what? Once again, they had no fucking quarters, and I just know that there are DGGers going here, ordering things for $1.25, giving them $5 bills, cleaning out all the fucking quarters from the drawer, and they don't have nickels here or dimes, so I've got to walk out with like 80 pennies in my fucking pocket, and I know that it's DGG because they're always pre-sniping my fucking KFC order. It's like, gee, bro, are you okay?
It changed the fucking dynamic of it. Oh shit, I did get a fucking top post. Donald Trump is crashing out.
And he literally, as he's crying about it, he has a top post on LSF. Holy shit, these guys are the biggest cry bullies in the fucking world. I'm so confused how he can lie like this. Has he convinced himself that this is all true? It's the same. It's a deliberate strategy on his part. Vosh does this against me, or used to. Although he hasn't spoken about me in a long time. Trump does this. Like all the conservative commentators, Tim Pool, everybody does this. As long as you avoid confrontation, you can create whatever bullshit view of you can create whatever bullshit view you want of your opponent, because your fans never actually engage with that opponent and you don't engage with that opponent. So as long as you can create whatever view you want and you don't have to directly, you know, watch their content or material, that's why he only watches like pre-clipped channels that he's probably pre-screened of me that are dedicated to making me look bad, right? The Destiny versus Destiny TikTok is an anti-fan TikTok. These are the only exposures that you get of me. He can create whatever character in his mind and then present that to his audience that he wants of me.
Can you explain Reddit to us old heads? No. This is it. Cuties or rewatch videos do that for me now? Yeah. XQC is one of the only streamers that looks at it every day. Yeah, that makes sense. Also one of the only streamers that fucking actively is a Destiny dick rider still.
Who just wanted to stay as far away from
What, is he while he's watching a hate video of me too? Holy shit! What did this guy do on a stream all day? Jesus Christ! I'm a fucking storm cloud to this dude. Oh my god. Wait, what was that last video?
Okay.
Bro. You're gonna be okay, little bro.